Welcome back. Our Ask an Expert today is Ragnar, the jeweler. Thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure to be here. One of the things that most people don't fully appreciate about jewelry valuation is the fact that all jewelry component parts are actually bought in US dollars, even though when you go to the jewelry store, you'll be buying your jewelry in Canadian dollars, but that jeweler would have paid US dollars for all his inventory. So if you're sort of thinking, well, let's just talk about maybe you bought a piece of jewelry 8 or 9 years ago. Like, for example, I have a ring here that 8 or 9 years ago, you might have paid around $10,000 for that. Today, just based on the current exchange rate, you'd be paying just under $14,000 for the same ring.
Wow.
So if you take into account the fact that the gold goes up, the diamonds go up, in addition to the exchange rate, about 5 to 10% a year, over a 9-year period, this ring would now be worth just under $20,000.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So how important is it for us to know how much our jewelry is worth?
Well, it's really only important if you insure it.
Right.
If you don't insure it, then who cares? So if you're going to insure this item, then you would take it to a qualified appraiser, a gemologist who also has an appraisal certification, so that he can establish value. So now you can take this document to your insurance company, say, like to insure this, and away you go.
Right.
So there's basically several types of different appraisals you can get. You can get probate appraisal. You can get, which is basically the lower of low values because you're settling an estate. Or you could get a replacement appraisal, which is to rebuild this item to whatever specs you've got. And then there's an insurance appraisal, which most people get, which, let's say, for example, we'll go back to this ring here. If it was a $10,000 ring, normally we'd add about 20% to the value of this, so that over the next 2 or 3 year period, if values go up, you'll be covered. So that's kind of how that whole thing goes. And
how do you know the person that is telling you this is knowing what they're doing? How do you get to a certified appraiser?
Well, you'd ask the gentleman, like, for example, the fellow, we run an appraisal clinic once a month, and we have a fellow, his name is Harold Lindsay. He comes into our studio. He has a GIA degree. He has an appraisal certification. He has a whole list of qualifications that at the moment I can't remember. But
it's okay, as long as he's certified, right?
So yeah, you would just bring in all your items,
right,
and then he would photograph them, appraise them, give you an evaluation, so you'd be able to walk away with a certificate that says, hey, this is worth $500 or $5,000. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure lots of people are surprised too once they get things appraised.
Especially with the change in our dollar value, what you might have sitting in your old jewelry box and thinking it's worth nothing will probably be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's definitely something that people should get done.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
And at the same time, you know, you bring it in for an appraisal, it's time maybe to rethink the design, maybe redo it and have it fit your current lifestyle, because there's a lot of jewelry sitting in ladies' boxes that hasn't been worn for years.
Right, just because it's not contemporary.
It's not contemporary, exactly.
All right,
yeah.
all right. Ragnar, thank you so much for coming in. Lovely to see you. If you have any questions, you can visit Ragnar at his design studio, Granville and 64th in Vancouver. The website up there, ragnar.ca. Next weekend, chiropractor Dr. Gohar Sheikh is back with us. If you have a question for him or any of our Ask an Experts, please email us weekendnews@globaltv.com. We'll take our next look at today's small town Lytton when we come back. As we go, let's check in with Kelly Meadows up in Global One.